are used to seeing a lot of kissing, just not like this one. In October of 2011, the Hartford Public High School held a play called Xanadont in their auditorium.
The idea of the play is that in the town where the play takes place, everyone is gay. The football players are the least popular kids, the chess players are the most popular kids. The idea is that it's an upside-down, reversed world.
When you first began writing the play, what were your intentions?
Basically to get people to think about how much of our culture on a daily basis can exclude so many people in our country. So for instance, I wanted the show to make people think, wow, I never realized that every single sitcom has been exclusively heterosexual.
The message of the play was just to be yourself. It doesn't matter what gender or who your sexuality really is. It's just, if you stay true to yourself, then nothing else matters.
But it mattered to a lot of people when two boys kissed in the middle of the play.
Controversy over a Connecticut high school play is reaching media outlets across the country because two male actors locked lips on stage.
There were kids that were just sort of jumping out of seats to get out of there as quickly as they could. Was, I would say, the general reaction from a lot of people.
Been a lot of different interpretations of Xanadont, but I don't think the facts are in dispute. I think we're all agreed on the facts.
I never did reach out to all of my families or all of the students to say this is exactly what it is and you have the choice to opt in or opt out.
And that's what the parents said when they called us. They were very upset. They said they hadn't been told. Had they been told, they would have chosen to keep their children out of that play because they hold traditional moral views about homosexual activity, and they felt that it was not the role of the schools that they pay taxes to decide what their children will and will not believe about the boundaries of sexual activity.
Love's all around, it just has to be found. My job is making sure it gets spread around.
I saw this program from the start as something that was a school program. Just like when in our science classes we have lessons about evolution, or in our social studies class if we're talking about a controversial topic, I'm not going to stop everything and let all of the families and students know so as to ask permission.
I mean, parents are the primary educators of their children, certainly in the moral realm. It touches on religion and sexuality and very private, deep, intimate matters that are traditionally left between parents and decided in the home. It really wasn't for the school to come between the parents and the children and saying, no, we'll decide for you what your children should be taught about this.
When a principal is put in charge of a school and a curriculum and the idea that these are the things that we're going to teach and this is the message that we're going to have and this is what we're going to do, there are times where the school's values or the principal's values or however a decision might be being made in one given day or on one given project is made that may run up against a family's values. So I did get a lot of communication from all across the country from some folks who just had opinions about this. Shame on you, Jack Balderman. Homosexuality is an abomination against God, and obviously even high school children at your school know the truth. I'm referring to the reaction your own high school kids had to the disgusting film, which included a shot of two males kissing. Rather than force children to learn your form of debauchery, you ought to learn from them. Homosexuality is disgusting, as well are you.
There are certainly topics in American society that should not be optional to discuss. And I think topics such as race, class, sexuality, and gender should not be options.
I really think that as a law and government academy, we have an obligation to push the limits in a public high school of freedom of speech, of freedom of expression.
Freedom of speech and freedom of expression are guaranteed under the First Amendment. But how far do those rights extend?
First Amendment rights are the rights for us to perform, to say what we like. But there are also, I think, rights to not do things, and those rights are as important as the rights to do things.
I mean, parents have a right to choose how to raise their children the way they want to, including according to their religious beliefs. And you know, the division, the separation between church and state does cut both ways. It's not for government-run schools to say to parents, we're going to take your children and we're going to indoctrinate them in terms of things that impinge upon your moral beliefs and your religious beliefs. We'll decide what they can believe, and we'll even pit them against your beliefs if we deem that that is the tolerant, politically correct thing to do.
In the end, both sides agreed that it should have been handled differently.
Would we do this again if we could? And for me, the answer is yes, absolutely, without even considering it for too long. Yes, absolutely. I think there are a couple of things that we would do differently. I think I would let families know, but I would not go publicizing it like a field trip. I would not require students to get a signed permission slip to attend.
If parents were actively notified ahead of time, we're going to show this play. This is what's in the play. You have the right to opt out your children if you want to. If that parental permission was allowed, plus in addition to the Xana Don't worldview, the kids were also going to be exposed to alternative worldviews.
If a family called and had concerns, I would work with that family and perhaps, you know, if it was appropriate, come up with arrangements for that student to participate in an alternative activity.
If the kids were going to be presented to the full range of worldviews on this matter, I think that's something that would have made this much less of a controversy than it needed to be. It would have been much less of a violation, and it's something that Family Institute potentially could have supported.
The controversy surrounding Xana Don't is the perfect example of a situation where one of the fundamental rights guaranteed by our Constitution can be the source of great conflict.
Walk by.